On today's episode, we're going to talk about navigating midlife and an empty nest. It's going to be a good one, so grab your coffee and let's get into it.
Hey, I got my coffee.
You're good. You're on brand.
I'm on brand.
We're good. In the to-go cup.
In the to-go cup.
Per the logo.
Per the logo.
Because it's a to-go cup.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Before we get too far, you guys, make sure you follow us on candidly_with_coffee on Instagram and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And thank you to those of you who have left us reviews because we've got quite a few new reviews coming in. And I really appreciate it.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was also a new review on Spotify as well.
Really?
Yeah, so I appreciate it. And our Instagram is growing, which is always good. It took forever to get to 1,000 followers, and then now we're like
soaring.
Yeah, like we're at 11.
That's crazy. I never thought about us being on Spotify. I always think of YouTube, because I watch us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I don't even go on Apple or nothing, just YouTube.
I can't believe we're already like mid-August. You know what I mean? Like we're...
Yes, the 8th today.
It's like I'm so off with because you made pumpkin pancakes, and I'm like, wait a minute, is it fall? But
no,
pumpkin is in the air.
I just had an idea to make something told me. I don't know why.
But I don't know. To me, like that's like a little blasphemy to do pumpkin in August. It's just a little too soon. September is acceptable. August is like pushing it because we're in the summer.
Tasted real good for me, so I'm not for me. It ain't.
It looked good.
I'm a rule breaker. I don't follow any rules.
It's a little premature. But what I was thinking of is how quickly my boot camps start, and then it's like already time for my next boot camp. It's BBC 13s. We're halfway through, and now I'm already gearing up for BBC 14. The wait list is already fired up. Everything.
When's the next one?
The next one, it doesn't start until mid-September, but registration opens September 1st. So we'll take a little break for a word about boot camp, and we'll be right back. If you're in menopause and you want to get in the best shape of your life, you have to come inside of Jay's Body Bootcamp. It's my 8-week online program. I teach you how to unlock the code to your dream body by implementing my 4 simple protocol. You will look and feel better than ever with no restriction, no rigid rules. I'll give you my exact blueprint on what I do in order to look and feel better than I ever have before. I also teach you how to maintain your results long term. This is not a cookie cutter fad diet. Come inside of Jay's Body Bootcamp and let's unlock your code. Doors only open every 2 months, and they're about to open again. Make sure you're on that list so you can get registered and get started. Let's work on your dream body. So if you guys are interested, make sure you click on the link down in the description because you got to get on the wait list. The wait list gets a little extra bonus time. Navigating the app, you get the meal planner, and you get to play around with things for a whole 2 weeks before everybody else. So get on the wait list so you get access sooner. But yeah, I'm excited about the next boot camp.
It'll be here before you know it. Time flies. Time goes by so goddamn
That's
quick.
what I'm trying to
tomorrow's
say.
already Friday. Look, blink. Isn't that crazy? Tomorrow's already Friday.
Well, but who knows? Tomorrow might not be Friday, depending on who's listening to this.
Yeah, well... I keep forgetting, people are going to listen to this on a different day. But
yeah. You're like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
No. I'm just going to go with it.
Reality TV, the characters in reality TV are supposed to act as if there are not cameras. There are not, like, there's no production, right? They're supposed to act that way. So when they refer to production things, that's considered breaking the fourth wall.
Gotcha.
And that's what that means. Okay, so this weekend, I don't know why, but I had a bug up my butt and I watched the movie Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. It was in 1987. I loved that movie when it came out originally, and it blew my mind how I had forgotten what life was like in business world before email and internet.
I remember mail rooms and stuff like that.
Like there was an entire corporation, right, on multiple floors in New York City. And so in order to get messages to other people, you have to send a memo through the mailroom. And that's how they got it. Isn't that crazy?
Like how much money they were spending.
And then they would send it through the mailroom to whatever office it needed to get to, and it would have to go through a little mail courier. And
that's what I'm saying. You're paying an extra body to do that.
Multiple bodies, secretaries.
You're wasting tons of overhead. They don't realize how much overhead they're wasting back then.
I mean, well, we didn't have the technology. That's how you did it.
Why didn't the secretaries walk it right over and hand it over?
No, but it was because you got to think about it,
chain
like
of
in
command
these
type dealer.
No, but like these large corporations, you know what I mean? Like a 20-story building, it's not that easy to just navigate around.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just crazy to see, and there was like.
Do you remember that? They had a cylinder also. You put in the cylinder as like a chute. And
Yeah.
You shoot up to either up or down.
Yeah.
You send like a message to somebody.
Yeah, they had that in some buildings as a communication mechanism.
How far we've come. Wow.
I
feel
know.
Old.
It was so cool to like really pay attention. I was looking at the desks didn't like all have computers on them, and there was lots of binders and reports. You know what I mean? Because there's no electronic records. It was so different.
How times have changed.
And that was our lifetime. I was 12.
We're the last generation of that, huh?
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
one behind us.
You know, I remember when emails first came about, and in the workplace, I was working at a call center for a credit union, and they introduced that we have email, which electronic mail. We have email now. It was a big deal, right? But it was only internal email. So you can only email your coworkers and stuff, right? I figured out a setting on the back end because email was already a thing, but within the company, you could only email internally. I figured out a setting, so I was able to email Robert outside of the company.
It's like you broke a firewall down.
I did.
How the hell did you figure that out?
I have no idea. But I was so afraid I was going to get in trouble. But I went in there and I figured out some setting so that I could send an email that would go externally outside of the company.
Wow. That's funny.
Isn't that crazy? And we didn't have internet and all that back then. I don't know. It was just kind of cool to reminisce and like watch that movie through the lens now of our technology and just see how things have.
I mean, we're the era of pagers. Remember pagers?
Yeah.
You leave a little message on your pager. Somebody.
If you think about it, pagers are so dumb. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny because back then.
I thought I was cool when I got mine.
But back then, you're so excited to have a pager so people can get a hold of you. Now you don't want people to get a hold of you.
Like, leave me the fuck alone, man.
You don't want people to be able to get a hold of you. And back then, we wanted.
You wanted to go off. You want so cool. Somebody sent a cute little message. 823, thinking of you.
Yeah, I don't even know those
143, I love you. I still remember some.
But in the movie, Michael J. Fox also used a payphone. Remember how disgusting and dirty a payphone? Imagine getting on a payphone, putting your ear in your mouth. Oh, another thing they had in the movie: water fountains, drinking fountains to drink, like to put your mouth.
Public drinking fountains.
Yeah, public drinking fountain.
I do remember that a little bit.
You know, like
gross.
You put
I never
your mouth
drank.
on the
Yeah,
thing.
schools had them. Like public schools are nasty.
No wonder kids got sick all the time.
Disgusting.
Yeah. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Transcend and we'll be right back. When's the last time you switched your budget around? If you're spending cash on eating out and buying clothes, but you don't want to spend a bit on your health, what are you even doing? Every day, from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, you have a series of choices that will make or break you. The things you eat, your physical activity or lack thereof, your sleep, it all adds up. Personally, I care about what I put in my body, and I've found that it's hard to put a price on feeling like you're ready to take on the world every day. That's why I leverage the power of hormone optimization and fully customized peptide protocols from Transcend. If you're ready to take your health to the next level, head over to the link transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite and fill out an intake form today. All right, you guys, I also want to add for Transcend, for the month of August, the tezofensine and the IGF-LR3, two of their very popular peptides for fat loss and gaining muscle, are 25% off for the month of August. This is a really good time to contact them, become a patient, and get your hands on those peptides. I do believe that when it comes to peptides, I don't think you need blood work. for peptides. So you would just need, but you do need to become a patient in order to get peptides. So become a patient, get your peptides.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood work is required for certain things and obviously certain medications.
Yeah.
And certain like HRT and hormones, but not for everything. And I believe peptides they can do without blood work. But they do also have the custom lab panels now at Transcend. So if you don't want to do the full comprehensive blood work and you're trying to like budget and have like a little cheaper, like say you just want your adrenals looked at or your thyroid, you can just purchase that blood work and it's a little cheaper. It's a little more cost effective.
Nice. I bet you people like that much more.
Yeah,
Way better.
because some people are just like they're looking for something in particular, and not necessarily they don't want necessarily the full. Now, me personally, I want the full, comprehensive, detailed.
I want to see.
I want everything.
I want to see. Yep.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the hot coffee topic. Remember that submarine that was going down to the Titanic?
Yeah. What about it?
That those people died, like it went missing and all of that.
Exploded or imploded.
It imploded. There is a lawsuit now. The family of the victims are suing because they're saying that evidence shows that they knew they were going to die and that they had a horrific, traumatic experience leading to their death. They knew it was going to happen.
Wow. Because
90 minutes into the descent to the Titanic, they deployed their weights, which meant they were trying to stop the descent. So they knew something malfunctioned. They knew something was wrong. And then they lost power and communication. So they would have been in pitch black circumstances in a tiny little capsule with no communication and knowing they were plummeting to their death.
That's it.
For a long time. And another thing was because apparently there was like some sound coming from the ocean. And they said that there was one of the guys had like a Navy background that was on the submersive. And it's a distress signal that you do if you have a problem in a submarine. And they picked up on that distress signal, which proves that they were still alive for quite a while. It means they knew they were,
That's terrible.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine? The saddest thing for me is that there was a 19-year-old who was on with his dad.
Yeah, he probably didn't even want to go. But his dad, come on, son, let's go. You got to go. And took your kid with you.
Yeah, they said the Titan crew suffered terror and were well aware they were going to die, says in the... When I saw a video, I was watching actually a program over the weekend, and I saw the video of the submersive and what it takes to go inside of it. You're bolted inside of that thing. It's tiny inside, so 5 people barely fit in there, and they bolt you in. You have to really be a non-claustrophobic person to be able to do that.
I just don't get... What the fuck is the excitement? Okay, that boat crashed long ago. It's historic. Take a fucking drone down there and just watch it on TV. Like,
I know.
What the
well,
fuck?
I was watching the
I saw you on TV watching the program.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Why do I need to go down there? Why do I need to put my life at? You're a billionaire, bro. Why would you put your fucking life at risk for that?
Not to mention, it's a tiny little window. They get to look out a tiny little window. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the Titanic. I mean, honestly, why? For what?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
What's the excitement enjoying that?
But you know what they were saying? Like historians were saying there's something about the Titanic that's just so captivating and compelling that even to this day, people are just so amazed by the whole thing. And I can understand because I kind of am. Like I watched a 2-part thing on the Titanic over the weekend. Like I was like, this is so interesting because they were able to really like paint a picture exactly of like what happened. And in fact, they figured out, so like what happened was when they hit the iceberg, they tried to avoid it and they turned the ship. They actually figured out that they would have been better off
Head on?
hitting it head on.
Probably would have.
Then the way that the ship was designed, they would have been able to block off the part that's flooded, and they
Yeah.
wouldn't have sunk. But
Oh.
because they tried to avoid it, it rubbed
It hit a weak part of it.
on the side.
So
No, it went.
it's. I see what you're saying. So the ship's this way in fat. You hit this way, but it hit this way.
And it
big
went all
line
the
of-
way down the side. So the whole side went crunch,
Gotcha.
like
that-
all the way.
Okay.
And that's what happened. And there was just a couple of like fatal things. So normally the lookouts have binoculars, but like they were like locked in a compartment and they lost the key. So the lookouts didn't have binoculars, so they saw it last minute. They kind of saw it a little last minute.
Well, now let me ask you this: do you know where this happened at? Where it sunk?
Yeah, it was near. It was in like Iceland or something, like near that area.
Oh, it was
right?
out there.
Yeah.
This
Wasn't
ship
it?
wasn't sailing from the U.S.
It wasn't. It was going to the U.S. It was going to New York.
Oh, okay. See, now I don't know why I didn't even know that part.
It was on its way to New York. I don't know if it was Iceland. I can't remember where,
but somewhere,
where it
but
was.
it came from Europe somewhere.
Yes,
Okay,
it came from
okay.
Europe, and it was on its way to New York.
Gotcha.
And 1,500 people died in the water.
That's a lot of people one swoop.
Yeah,
Froze to death.
700 people survived, but they had frigid temps. The water was below freezing, was 28 degrees. So the people, once they got into the water,
Oh, you're done.
They died within minutes.
Fast. That's quick.
Yeah.
Your body's gonna freeze quick.
Yeah. So
They just didn't have
sad
a
though.
chance.
But yeah, I was like, but again, I don't know what it is about the Titanic. I'm so like, and my mom and I remember we watched that movie together so many times, and there was 2 tapes for the Titanic because it was a long movie, but we always wanted to watch the first tape because we didn't want to be sad. Watch the second tape because the second tape was the sad stuff. The first tape was the love story.
These guys were playing the instrument when the ship was going down. Like
Yeah.
these dudes are savages.
That's actually true.
They really stayed to the end.
They stayed to the end. None of them
They sunk.
survived either. They
No,
sunk
of
with the
course
ship.
not.
And there was
That lady really survived that told the story?
no, that's not true.
That's fake, fiction or
yeah,
whatever?
it's fictional. But a lot of James Cameron took a very big interest in the Titanic, and it was very important to him to get as many of the details correct as possible. And now that there's been new information that's come out about a few things were a little different than what was depicted in the movie, he's like, I think I need to do another movie, another Titanic. That'd be kind of cool. I loved it. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for One Up Nutrition, and we'll be right back. It is no secret to you guys by now how much I love my One Up Nutrition supplements. They are a part of my daily routine, from the daily cleanse and the gut health plus that help keep my digestion on point, to their protein powders that I incorporate into so many different recipes. The ISO protein is very easy to digest and only 110 calories per scoop. The whey protein is delicious. The flavors are so good and always have little extra crunchy cookie pieces in them that just take the flavor to the next level. Their powders, like the Pure Rebuild and the pre-workout, are a staple in my daily workout routine. Their flavors are amazing. I'm alcohol free these days, but I swear when I drink some of these flavors from One Up, I actually feel like I'm having a delicious mocktail. Their products are third-party tested, so you know what you're getting. They're made in the USA. If you use code Janine at checkout for a discount. That's JEANINE. All right. Speaking of One Up Nutrition, horchata is coming, and I have an idea. Horchata
I can't
protein
wait for
powder
that. Ooh.
is on its way, and I have an idea to make with the horchata. What are you thinking about doing with it?
I'm gonna make a horchata, a drink. Probably just
With cinnamon and Fairlife milk.
Fairlife milk, and just with a hell of ice.
Oh my gosh, I bet you that would be so good.
Just like that.
Put some
Like
stevia and make it extra sweet like horchata
Yep,
is.
just like that. And probably make myself a homemade burrito, but like old times.
Yeah.
Like old times, baby. I grew up on that.
That sounds
Horchata,
good.
burrito, and chips. That was my mix, my go-to.
That sounds so good. Last time I had horchata was when we went to Rosario's.
Ooh,
It was really good.
And theirs is fire.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, you guys, let's get into a quick little Hold My Coffee. Again, on my What I Eat in a Day video.
Another one.
This person says, I am a vegan. I don't eat dairy. On my
What video is this? On
I would like to say for the record that every single time I say this,
I know what it is,
follow
but
up with
I don't know how
what
many
video is this?
I don't know how many you have.
A lot, but it's just a video
Is
of
it
me cooking.
is it a more current one?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. It's current.
I want to go ask him, like, ma'am, who asked you if you're a vegan?
You say,
I want to go comment on
what video is this?
because I want to go in on him a little bit. Just
Every time. Yeah, but look, the point is, I truly want to say, like, truly out of curiosity, like, what's the point of this comment?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be, like,
I want to be
sarcastic.
mean. Yeah, what is the point of it?
I'm just curious. What is the point? Because there's plenty of vegan channels on YouTube where you can get great ideas.
Yeah.
So
my question is, but who asked you? Who asked you? Did I ask if you're...
I am a vegan. I don't eat dairy.
But the point is, these people on the internet is who asked you? Who's talking to you?
But we should thank them because they're giving...
I know.
They're giving us something to talk about.
I'll go. Yeah, I get it.
All right, you guys. Now moving on to Comment Corner. This one comes to us from Jillian McCoy. And she says, I'm loving the podcast. I've tried to leave an Apple review, but they don't like Android. Anyway, I am curious how you and Mike react to each other's diets. Are you calling each other out if one eats something untracked or outside your macros? Do you joke about it, tease each other, or not comment on what the other is eating at all? My husband doesn't comment on what I eat, but sometimes I think I want him to call me out on my shit.
That's a good question.
Well, answer it.
I don't know how to answer. I don't call you out. I haven't said nothing.
Well, then that's the answer.
I don't care what you eat.
The question
we don't. First off, we don't diet. We always say that we don't diet.
No, but okay. Here's the thing: do we regularly call each other out? Like, no, because it's just we kind of eat in a certain way, kind of the same thing all the time. I think sometimes I'm curious as to what you're eating or whatever. However, if I saw something change, it's like if suddenly I was bringing home McDonald's like 2 days in a row, you would absolutely comment.
Yeah.
You'd say like, what the
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you, bulking?
So I don't think that we do right now regularly comment, but I do feel that we would. Like there's the infamous, when you snuck in the house with donuts late night and I caught you. I waited for you because I knew you were out getting food, so I wanted to catch you.
Man.
The best part about that was that you walked in so quiet. And
I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Just once, not donuts, but once in a great blue moon, just say fuck it and go to a drive-thru. But I just don't ever do it. I just don't ever do it.
I do.
I start feeling guilty.
No, but I do want to do that someday.
I know.
Once in a while.
Yes.
There is such a great feeling of kind of like late night, at night, going through a drive-thru, coming home, getting comfy, and smashing some McDonald's.
You're right. You're right. What's the whole purpose of what we're teaching if there's no balance? It's not like one meal is going to derail you for the rest of the year.
No.
We're going to put on some poundage of water weight and sodium levels going to go up and maybe a little heart pop. We'll be all right, That's about it.
A little blood pressure spike, no big deal.
Look at what we did after after you picked me up from the hospital.
We went to McDonald's.
I wasn't supposed to be eating that stuff. I just had a fucking stroke.
I know. We're just dumb sometimes.
I know.
But I was craving it so bad.
I know you were.
I was so hungry.
Yeah, tired, hungry. It was a long process.
Yeah, but so I guess the answer to that is we don't regularly do that, but we would, I think. If I would call you out on your shit.
You did it with not mean or nothing, but when I was smashing burritos a little too much.
Yeah.
Like another burrito.
Yeah.
And it triggered me.
Yeah, you were very triggered.
But that's the point. When somebody's triggered,
it's because they know something's up. Yeah.
That's my problem. Like, ooh, she hit me with that one. She's right. Another burrito.
Yeah, like why does it bother you? It bothers you because deep down you know that you probably shouldn't be eating another burrito.
Yeah. And we knew it was heavy, but knowing what we know now, it's way heavier than what we knew. The assumption was wrong. I thought 1,000, 1,200 calories. Wrong.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for Mega Fit meals, and we'll be right back. Life is busy, and when I get busy and don't have time to meal prep, I reach into my freezer and grab a Mega Fit meals. Mega Fit meals are a macro-friendly meal prep, no subscription required, real quality ingredients. They switch up the menu. You guys, I love them. They're chicken tenders, the margarita pizza, the chicken quesadillas. I mean, this food sounds indulgent, but guess what? It fits right into your macros. Head over to their website and don't you forget to use code JEANINE. That's code Janine for a discount. All right. Speaking of Mega Fit meals, sorry, but I forgot to place the order, so we're not getting it until Wednesday.
And I'm feel like slapping myself because something. I was gonna go ask you. I don't know why. It's something tall. Like I better ask if she ordered Mega Fit because I don't remember her asking me. I was gonna go to the bedroom and remind you. My dumb ass started doing something else. Yeah. I can't do that when something's on my mind. I gotta go.
I know, because then I would have ordered it because I missed the cutoff.
Yes,
but it'll come Wednesday. But anyways, kind of sad. But anyway, it'll give me an opportunity though to clean out the fridge.
Yeah. We got plenty of food.
It needs to be a deep clean, like a clean out.
Yeah.
But I've been having that sensation now for a while. I need to do it, but I keep feeling like I need to clean things. I'm having like that anxiety, like everything needs to be clean.
Well, you're gonna clean things once your daughter moves out. I already know you're gonna go through a purge.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through a purge and kind of like spread out a little bit more, and definitely gonna utilize that closet of hers because it's a big closet. I cannot wait to expand a little bit. All right, moving on to, I wanted to talk about the midlife crisis. Because I honestly never really thought about the fact that someday I might have a midlife crisis or like I would be old enough. I always used to make fun of like a midlife crisis to me was like a guy with a toupee and a sports car.
Yes. Typical guy runs out, this midlife crisis, 50-year-old, silver hair, runs out and buys a Corvette.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, you know, like, what are you trying to be cool at 50? Midlife crisis.
So that's what I thought. That's like a quintessential midlife crisis. But I never really stopped to think about, like, especially in this particular instance, and I'm sure, you know, we can get into like the male aspect of it. Maybe that'll be a good episode for your show with a male audience. But like from a female perspective, there are so many things that happen all around the same time that it is no wonder that divorce rates skyrocket for women between the ages of 45 to 55.
Really?
And suicide rate is the highest, 45 to 55.
I didn't know that either. Something new you learned.
For women those age ranges, yes, there's a spike.
Wow.
Because if you think about the changes that are happening all at once, you've got, usually at around that age, you've got ailing parents that maybe you are now a caregiver for, or maybe you've lost a parent. Yep. You've got kids going off to college or moving out. You've got your hormones completely out of whack.
They just go right in the dump.
Right? So when your progesterone depletes, you suddenly, not only are you dealing with lots of crisis in life, right? Lots of things change, but progesterone makes you feel like you can't handle anything without your progesterone. Without estrogen, like your mood, your energy. So you are literally at your worst place, like emotionally and physically a lot of times, but you're having to deal with the most difficult things, which is, you know, losing your identity, you know, a little bit, because now you were always a mom, you had kids, you were, for a lot of women, maybe they stayed home with their kids and they don't even know who they are, like when their kids are grown. And their hormones are all messed up, right? So maybe that's taking a toll on their relationship.
How about this too? How about because a lot of women compliment themselves. Like, I'm cute, I look cuter. What about when they don't feel sexy or unattractive? Does that mess with their head? Does that fall in that same category?
Well, that has to do with the hormones, right? It affects your mood. But I mean, like, it's all, what I'm saying is it's like the perfect storm. When you throw in like a couple of other random, unexpected tragedies.
Yep.
Illness, a death of an animal or family pet, like all around, you have all of these struggles. A lot of times, a lot of financial struggles because maybe kids are going off to college and there's a lot of extra expenses.
I know. It's supposed to be easier. It gets harder sometimes for older people. You're right.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. I never stopped to think about like the impact that must have like on certain people.
Sounds like you're describing you.
I mean, somewhat.
You've been through a lot, at least 3 of those.
Yeah,
that I know.
Right.
Animal, mother, and your hormones.
Yeah. So you know what? When I stopped to think about that, and I was thinking about it to do this episode, I thought, what has helped me through all of that was at least I did have a solid grasp on my health. Because every time you look up, like, okay, what can help someone through those times? The first things it always says is a healthy lifestyle, right? Diet and exercise, a healthy weight, exercise, walking,
typical
movement,
answer. Yes,
all that stuff. So if it's hard on me going through those changes over these past few years, and I've got all those things going on for me, I just think about how devastating it is to someone who doesn't have all that stuff under control.
And you're mentally strong. That's one thing for sure. You're not mentally weak. So that's helped a lot, you to get through these things.
So, but think about the people that are not in that. Maybe they did let themselves go when they were focused on being a mom. So they didn't put enough focus on their own joy or their own well-being, right? Their own health. And so now they're in a predicament where not only did they not take care of it when they were, in their 30s, but now it's even harder to take care of it because now their hormones are not on their side. So they're entering that phase. And then they've got all those other factors impacting things. Like, where do they even begin? That's why, again, why, on my platform and on this platform, I'm so passionate about helping women thrive during these years. And I am fully aware that how difficult it is for them, like even more so like than me is what I'm saying. Like I'm even in a position where I did focus on my health and I do have that on my side. So I entered it in with some armor and it's still hard.
Yeah,
it's true. Still very hard.
That's a good point.
So I think about, man, they must feel defeated before they even begin. Or it feels like a mountain, like Mount Everest to climb.
Or it feels like how I felt. Throw me in the ocean with no life jacket and you're treading water. And I feel like the harder I fight to get to the top and catch some air, the more I can't do it. That's what I felt like.
Yeah, so they said, okay, so between the age of 40 and 60, it's considered when, and everyone's kind of different depending on when they started their families and all of that. But so 40 and 60 is typically when someone will enter a midlife crisis. And during this phase, they will deal with a lot of inner turmoil about their identity, life choices, and mortality. I do have to say, I never used to think about my mortality until recently. You know what I mean? Until since my mom passed away. I never thought about my own mortality. It felt so far away.
Yeah.
And so that becomes a part of it. And I think that's a big reason why people don't take care of themselves in their 30s, because they don't even they don't even think about their mortality. They think they're going to live forever.
That's why I train my guys in their 30s. I'm like, listen, you got to think, what would yourself 20 years from now talk to yourself in your 30s? What would they say to you? Good job. You did it. You got us. We're healthy. We're strong. Or, fuck, man, you fucked us up. Now we're on the gurney on our way to the grave. You know, I tell them that. It hits them like, whoa, I never looked at that. Yeah, you have to. I just got on one of my guys now, like, what you do now determines your future. I'm quite a bit older than you. And you need to start focusing on your health. Like how you're chasing business and money, you need to start chasing your health that way, because you might find that success and you might get it because you're a hard worker, but you're going to put your health to the waistline. You might not make it to my age. You got to think about that. Don't think you're immortal. You might not make it up to my age. Look, I had a massive health scare a little bit over 6 months ago that I felt immortal, felt strong, and I'm lucky that I am strong and I work out and I take care of myself, but that stroke still came for me.
But you know what? This is what I always think about. When you say those kind of things, I think about you when you were 35, and I think about you now talking to Mike Escobar at 35. How would you have responded to that conversation? Honestly, be honest. What would you have said to those comments right there?
That's a good question. Mm-hmm. I was stubborn, hard-headed. You know, what I was doing at 35 was definitely dangerous.
You would be irate.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
I know it is, but it's just so like, how do you? Because I'm thinking like, if someone were to tell me all those things when I was 35, I still don't think I would have grasped it and thought. I still feel like, you know, you just don't think about your mortality when you are that age. You think like, oh, I'm good. I'm never, you know.
I mean, well, a wake-up call for me at 35 also was losing my cousin.
Was it a wake-up call, though?
Like
what did it do?
It just knew, like, oh, shit, this can come from me at someday. You know, I always had in the back of my mind, like, it came for her. Why can't it come from me? I'm an Escobar.
Yeah.
It came from my father.
But it didn't change your behavior.
No, because, again, I'm stubborn and hard-headed. Addict.
It didn't do a goddamn thing.
No.
You know?
But I did change But I did change my behavior before it was too late.
You did, thank goodness. But you would slowly. My point is, it's hard because when they're not ready to get the message, it doesn't matter. They're not going to get the message.
True. But right before we got married is when we started kind of slowing down. So I stopped pretty early on compared to some of my friends who are still in my age group who are still going.
I know.
They're still playing for
I know.
I tell them, like, good luck.
So if you're finding yourself like entering that midlife, that stage of life, you know, I did kind of like look up. So what are the things that you can do to help yourself through it? Now, again, this is a circumstance for me where it's always a little difficult because the answers always are the things I'm already doing. So then I kind of get flustered. Well, what about me? What can I do if I'm already doing all these things and I'm still feeling a little off? You know what I mean? But in most cases, people are not already doing a lot of these things. So this is where you do have to, even if you're not feeling this way yet, you have to know it's coming. It will come. And, you know, prepare for it so that you are in a good circumstance or a good situation to deal with it. But one of the things that I did think about was it said to kind of reconnect with yourself, to really think about what you like doing and explore new interests and revisit hobbies. I've always struggled with this because I don't feel like I have interests outside of work. You know what I mean? Isn't it interesting? Like, I really don't. Do I? I don't have any hobbies or interests, so I don't know.
I don't know. You have to answer that.
I know.
What's your
But anyways,
I got interest in hobbies.
You know, I'm not going to go play pickleball. It's not my thing.
I like to hit the bags,
bunko.
Box. Yeah.
You've got hobbies. I don't, but it's not. It's
There's
my
also
own
part of me that, you know what, I wanted to get back into, which just never do because time ain't on our side. We're just so busy doing other shit. Is riding a bike again. I found a lot of joy in that as a kid.
Really?
Because it's getting out, breathing fresh air. It's not so much for the exercise, just to get out and just cycle again. I don't know. Just not like I'm going to put on a helmet and look like a cyclist. Not that kind. Just to get out and ride a bike like a beach cruiser. Just cruise because it's nice.
Like a beach cruiser sounds good.
I mean, maybe one day when we live in Florida, then I'll do that. That's something that was on my mind because I enjoyed it. I truly did. Again, it's not for the exercise part of it. It's just to get out and breathe some fresh air. Mm-hmm. I had fun.
So, I mean, that's something that you can do is kind of start to think of, kind of rediscover what your true interests are outside of being, you know, a parent and outside of work and that kind of stuff. And then, you know, some other cliche things, set goals, stay active. You know, I feel like you guys know all that stuff already, but a lot of people, they don't prioritize that. And that's a problem. You really do need to prioritize that. Build a support network. I thought that was good. I think that's what's happened in my BBC. I think I think a lot of people are in that stage of life. And that's why
they're so like
it's tribe. A support network.
Yeah, it is.
That's exactly what it is. Because when
one's feeling down, then the lady can come and lift her up.
And I see it. It happens every day.
It's kind of like, this is what I imagine. Like you're standing, and all of a sudden you get lightheaded, and you just I give up, and you're falling backwards, and then a bunch of hands come up and catch you and let's lift you back up.
Yeah. I see it every day. And I do see how that's helpful.
It is, because everything's here.
Yeah. It's also nice to have those discussions with people that know what you're talking about. Because if you've never been through it, or you won't even be able to comprehend it. You'd be like, I don't understand. What's the big deal? Like, you know? You
have to be empathetic.
You do.
You must.
You must have empathy.
You must have that. As a coach, you have to have that. And again, you've gone through your fair share of taking on the chin. Your lost a dog, lost a mother, your hormones were shot.
Mm-hmm. So luckily, I feel like I've put myself in a really good place to manage all of these things. But I literally think about what could have been. Like if I would have fell into like a deep depression and gave everything up after my mom died. Like gave up my healthy lifestyle, just ate my feelings, and just
went back to old Janine.
Where would I be?
Could you imagine that if you went back to your old self? Does it make your heart like?
Where would I be? You'd be probably dead, to be honest, because you would have joined me.
Yeah.
You would have just said, "Fuck it."
Fuck it. I'll go with you. Give myself a stroke.
Let's
and be
just
gone.
Eat to our heart's content, babe.
God. I have no choice. I can't go back to the old Mike. It'll kill me.
No, I know.
More than now, what happened to me, for sure. You know, it's like, whoa, that was a huge wake-up call.
I do like this suggestion. Pursue learning opportunities.
I'm on that.
I like that.
I'm on that because I'm studying for the NASM. And at first I was
The nutrition.
And I was like, fuck. I don't feel like fucking going through this again. But I changed my mindset. Like, you know what? No, I'm learning knowledge. And like our friend Adam Schaefer said, you should learn 2 new things every week. So even after I'm done with this, I'm going to look into other things like addiction specialist or Violane has a course. I just want to keep getting smarter because I told myself I wasn't smart as a kid, and I don't believe that anymore. I believe I just got to find interest in something and keep learning and growing because knowledge is power.
Yeah, it says lifelong learning keeps the mind sharp.
Yes.
You have to use it. If you use it, you won't lose it.
Yes.
You know?
Like my Espanol. That's why I try to speak it when I can with certain people so I don't lose it. I get afraid. I don't want to lose it.
It's important because, but I like that. I like the learning things, you know.
It's good.
Like learning new skills. I thought, okay, that's something I can, that's because a hobby, I'm like, a hobby, I don't know. But learning new things, I love learning.
You did. You got your NASM nutrition cert and you got your menopause stuff you probably didn't know.
I know. So I
opened up a lot of.
That was me kind of like, okay, like what can I do now, you know? And it's helped. All of those things, all of the things that I've done have helped me prepare for this stage of life. It doesn't mean that it's still not going to be challenging, but it's sure as hell going to be a lot less challenging than some people who weren't prepared or, you know, have just completely lost themselves. But even if you have, what I'm telling you is it's not too late. You can still pave a way to, like, you know, a happy senior life. I
know. I feel like people in our age give up. They're like, oh, well, this is just my life. It's at the, like they paint the 40s or I'll be 50 in January. They paint that like, oh, life's almost over. I'm at the end. No, it's not. You're tripping. Who told you that? You put that in your own head. There's plenty of life. I can go on to live 100. Who knows?
But there was a time that I thought to myself, gosh, I don't know. I just made some decisions, and I guess this is life. This is where I'm at. Thinking like I couldn't change some things around and pursue other things. It's like I had this block in my brain that, okay, I did this in my 20s, this in my 30s, this in my 40s. Like, this is the trajectory I'm at. Like, I didn't realize, like, no, I can completely go off the charts and change and do something totally different. Yeah. Which is what we're doing. Podcast. You know, people that knew me, like in my corporate years at Netflix, they're probably like, where did this person come from? Like if they, happen across this podcast or whatever, they'll be like, how did this happen? You know? Right. It's because you can pave a new way.
I call that like in the fighting and in basketball, you pivot. Pivot. We pivoted. Everybody needs to know you can pivot. Mm-hmm. You don't have to just, I got to stay this way because this is all I know and that's that. No, you could pivot. You can change the course of your life by just pivoting. Mm-hmm. Try something new, step outside your comfort zone. I know it's easier said than done, but when you step outside your comfort zone, that's where you grow. That's where growth happens. But if you stay in that same lane and you're just beating a dead horse and not getting nowhere, it's time to pivot.
Yeah. So if there goes a time, too much time passes where I haven't had that uncomfortable kind of nervous feeling, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I know. And it's something that you have to be mindful and like course correct it all the time. Because it's easy to get comfortable.
Easy. That's the brain. It's like our coaching. We always say this, like, okay, yeah, you can get this whole program down and change yourself in 3 months, 6 months. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, without accountability or somebody to call you out or hold you accountable, whatever, a group, community, somebody, you start reverting back to your old behavior. Just mind knows what it knows, and it starts going back to your old. Little by little, the drawbridge is calming down. You had it up, and now it's opening back up again.
There's no replacement for that. Nope. There's nothing that you can do. Like, that's what you need a coach for. To be honest, if I were to strip it all the way down, like, you can figure out everything else on the internet.
Everything.
Okay?
You could.
But without the accountability and knowing that you have someone that's looking at your stuff and is going to give you their little tidbit and they're paying attention, and you have to answer to them as to why you did this, why you didn't do that, it's not going to work. You're going to revert back to your old ways. You have to have that, like, accountability piece. I agree with that completely. Because you feel it. You feel yourself kind of like sliding back into old habits.
And then you got no one to call you out.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you slid down the mountain a little bit. Before you know it, you're like, fuck, I'm back all the way at the bottom. Mm-hmm. I'm back to square one. How did I get here? Because it's easy. Listen, it's a lot harder to take it off. A lot easier to put it on. Way easier. It's too easy to put it on. It's not fair. Life's not fair. The way we're designed, it's just not fair. How easy it is to pack it on.
I know. And there's nothing we can do about that.
Nothing.
That is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I know. That's just the way the creator, the universe made us. I wish it weren't true, but that's the truth. Again, don't shoot the messenger. We're just telling you the truth. It's so easy to put it on. Quick.
Yeah, but the accountability is
valuable.
I would say that's
valuable.
Important. I literally, at least, I know they listen to this podcast because they use my terms all the time. They're like, all right, I need you to talk me off the ledge real quick. they know that I say that, right? That I say I'd talk them off the ledge. Yeah, because they need logic sometimes, and they just need someone to be like, nah, you're just being paranoid. It's fine, you know. Or they need me to say, all right, button it up, because you don't want to do that again tomorrow. You know, I'll say that too. It's not all roses and rainbows over here.
Did you hire me to be your cheerleader? You want the truth?
Yeah.
What do you want? Mm-hmm. You know. So, again, I sent the message to my guys like, all right, guys, it's time to, like, man up. Mm-hmm. Like, no more messing around. Like, it's time. Do you want results or no? How bad do you want this? Mm-hmm. Is it serious? Are you all the way in, or are you fucking half stepping?
And for your younger guys, they need to know that they're doing this to help them prepare for that midlife slump that comes. Because if you're not armed and ready with your physique and with your armor, right? I think of, like, a healthy lifestyle as like you're building armor for so many things. You're building armor against your mental health. You're building armor for physical health to be able to combat, diseases and things coming your way.
Yep.
You're building your armor now. You better get serious about it, because the time is a ticking.
Yeah. I mean, even though I abused my body with drinking, drugs, alcohol, all the above, did all that, I never gave up the gym. I always worked out. So I always had armor. Mm-hmm. And then as I got a little older, I got a little more serious, more dialed in. Mm-hmm. I had my ups and downs with it, but I still got better with it, Till the last year and a half, I really dialed it in. And look, it saved my life. I truly believe that saved my life.
That's a good thing that you never gave up the gym.
Never. No matter what. Even when I was heavier, fatter, whatever you want to call it, never gave it up. It worked out.
Because there's never a time that I remember that you didn't go to the gym unless you had an injury or were sick or something.
I always went, somehow, some way. And listen, you guys, working out, what does it mean? Not just working out. You're working out your fucking anxieties. You're working out your worries. You're working out your mental health. It's not just I'm lifting weights. You're working out. You're working things out. You're working out bullshit in your life. That's what you go to the gym to do, work it out.
Yeah, because obviously we always talk about how nutrition is, obviously that's going to have the biggest impact on what your physique looks like is your nutrition.
Yes.
But there is no replacement for exercise. And I'm always still baffled, completely baffled at the thought of people that are able-bodied that do not have exercise as part of their life.
Crazy.
It boggles my mind.
And I know I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell it again. You forcing me to go to the gym after my, the attempt on my life, on myself, that brought me back to life. It really is, works wonders. Brought me back to my old self. I was just telling my brother like that. People they undervalue the gym. They just think of it as maybe it's just for meatheads. Maybe people who work out are excessive. Maybe it's just, I don't want to build muscle. I'm fine the way I look. It's not just for that, man. It's really for this. That brought this mind back to where I needed to be, that warrior. I woke that fucking warrior back up again. It worked. I'm living proof of it. You're talking to a guy who didn't want to be there. I was mad at you for taking me there. And I know I told this story before, but it really is medicine, man. Medicine for your mind.
Yeah. I always get a little nervous when I see people like, oh, not going to the gym. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, me too.
What's wrong?
Like, dude, don't do that.
And I know, because the first thing I want to do when I'm not feeling my best and I'm not in the best mood is I want to skip working out.
Yeah. I've been on this other thing, though. Like, since I'm tired and I'm struggling a little bit, I'm lazy. Not lazy, but my mindset can be lazy. But I'm like, you know what? If I go, I know I'm going to get a good-ass workout. It always happens. I always end up getting a good workout. I don't know what the science is behind that, but I end up getting sometimes my best workouts ever when I'm not in the mood or don't want to go or I'm tired.
I mean, the key with working out is you have to make it you got to make it a habit. It's got to be,
yes.
You got to get to the point with your workouts that it feels weird to not go.
Yep.
It feels like, oh man, I'm all off because I didn't go work out. That's good. You need to get to that point. Unfortunately, it takes a while to get there, and going to work out is a big task. But over time, it becomes a habit. Then it feels weird not to go. Like, I feel so off when I don't get my workout in. When I don't stick to my schedule. And, there was a couple of days last week I slacked on my steps, and I'm back on track with that. And I kind of like had a moment with myself. I'm like, no, I got to get my steps baked in, like, as part of my routine on these specific days. As soon as I get home from my workout, I go and get on the treadmill and I do my 2 hours, because I do 2 hours of steps. But I'm working at the same time. But there were some days, because of the studio schedule and things were kind of getting shifted around, that I was not working on the treadmill. And it threw me off. And I'm like, nope, I got to get this back on my daily task list and get it scheduled so that it is a non-negotiable.
And that first day is always the hardest, right? I bet.
And then and then it's like boom, back.
And then you start, yeah.
Because it was already a routine. It was a habit that I just got away from a little bit for like a week or two because of travel that threw me off.
Yes.
And then, and then the studio schedule. So, but it was an already established routine. So it wasn't hard to get back into the routine because I didn't let it veer too far off the beaten path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of you'll get back on track if you don't let it go too long.
Yeah.
But you don't want to let those kind of good habits go. They're so hard to build them. Don't let them go.
And I tell a lot of people this, said it on my Instagram, is listen, I'm going to give you a tip. When you're on vacation, if you're with your loved ones, your kids, or your significant others, just you two, skip the Uber, go walk. Walk everywhere, man. Get to see sights, walk. Mm-hmm. Get your steps in. If you can't make it to a gym, there's no gym, just walk. Mm-hmm. Walk your steps all day. It feels so good.
If you walk on vacation,
dude,
it's going to give you more freedom for food.
Yes.
And to be honest,
you see more.
You see more.
How much did we see in South Beach that we didn't see before?
Yeah, you just get more of like a real idea for your surroundings when you're not in a car.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a great tip for vacations.
And let me tell you, it was not easy walking in Miami with the humidity. It's way different weather than California. Yes, it's hot here, but Miami's a different animal. That humidity, but we still did it. Yeah. Got it done.
Yes, we did. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.